Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the VOD Squad, the show where we talk about streaming technology. This is episode 167, January 29th, 2020. I am Clyde, and today I am joined by Matthew Ross.
Hi.
And Jimmy Dremel.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Doing all right. How are you guys?
Yeah, doing all right. Sorry I wasn't here last week, but, duty calls sometimes.
No worries. I know you were playing Call of Duty, hence the duty calls. But that's okay. We got by. We had some interesting conversations, I think. I don't remember last week.
Yeah, I don't remember much of anything. I'm exhausted. I was stayed up way too late last night. Short version, long story. My wife wants to have her computer sit inside of a certain spot in a bookshelf, and so I decided that I would take her computer and build her a mini ITX system. All the parts arrived late last night, and so I got the bug, and I wanted to put it all together. And mini ITX systems are hard to put together because it's hard to get your fingers in those really hard to reach spots. So I stayed up a little too late, but it's working. Everything works.
It's when you're doing jobs like that makes you appreciate child labor in other countries.
It makes me appreciate child labor because they have tiny fingers.
Exactly.
Oh, gotcha.
Exactly.
Okay.
They're able to put that stuff together quickly because they can get their fingers in the cracks and crevices.
Also, if you're doing a mini ITX case, good tip. Modular power supply is wonderful. All those extra cables got to go somewhere.
Nowadays there's no reason not to have a modular power supply.
True, but I was told to do this on a budget, and I had to reuse the power supply she already had. So,
well, luckily it's very easy to go into the power supply and remove the cables you don't need.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Just pair of scissors. It's easy. Just make sure to properly terminate those things.
Yeah, just shrink wrap. But word. I guess we should just probably get right into it. What do we got to talk about this week?
We got a story here. The PGA is doing their tours, of course, and they're letting us know that they're going to be starting to provide highlight videos, and these highlight videos are going to be going to Facebook Watch. If you can't remember, Facebook Watch is this platform where you can apparently watch videos made on Facebook. And okay, actually, this is the kind of content I actually could see being used on Facebook, quite frankly. This is something for kind of hits a community kind of thing. So people who love watching golf, can be very targeted to them. This actually kind of makes sense to me. So,
well, I mean, number one, it doesn't require all of your attention, and there isn't a lot of dialogue to step on if you're doing a watch party. So yeah. But is anybody going to go to Facebook to watch this?
Oh, well, if you're already there and you like golf, it's going to be like an ad, but an ad that you might be interested in.
Okay.
Yes. It's going to be, I bet you anything, this will show up in your feed of, it's on live now. Maybe even live feed as you're scrolling by. Hey, I have a question. Are they really called watch parties?
Yes. It says you can also expect watch parties.
Wow. That is a great bad name. I love they
totally ripped me off. I've been doing that for 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a cord cutter and you want to see the PGA highlights, I suppose this would be, a good avenue for you to watch them.
Even if you're not, and you just are in your feed and you're like golf. I mean, this makes a lot of sense. That's why I actually think this is actually a good use of it. I still don't think Facebook watches anything worth for anybody. I don't understand. So.
I wonder what the fidelity is, though, on the.
Excellent question.
It's going to be at least 1080. It's going to be no different than watching it live on Twitch or Amazon or YouTube.
Except for you're probably going to be watching it on your phone.
Not necessarily, but
not necessarily,
possibly.
but most likely.
But like I said, it's going to be, I'd say it's going to be at least equivalent to whatever those platforms those are on your device.
Right, but I don't have Facebook on my TV.
No, I mean on your YouTube or Amazon or whatever on your phone.
Sure.
You know, it'll be equivalent to that, which you can get if you've got good signal. Then you can have full fidelity. Those people that are probably roaming and don't have good or they're on guest Wi-Fi, it's probably going to be pretty crappy.
Yeah, that's possible. That's okay. I like some of the the highlight videos of other shows and other sports things. So if you ask me, some of the sports, it's the best way to watch them. So all for it. Hey, here's a story that I think is awesome. Not awesome for DirecTV, but it's awesome. DirecTV has a satellite in space, and this satellite is being told by the various space authorities that they are required to move it into a higher Earth orbit in order to allow it to safely explode. They have 1 month in order to move the satellite from geosynchronous orbit in order to make it so it can get out to, what is it? They wanted to get it 800 kilometers above their surface in order to have it so they can tell that it's going to explode in about, they're just, the satellite's going to blow up. This is going to be awesome.
I think this leads into the other AT&T story that we have that I missed this somehow.
No, you did. What's up, Jimmy?
I was just saying, this is awesome. I mean, due to a battery issue.
Yeah, this. So I don't know what happened with the batteries that make it explode. It must be being powered by Note 7s up there. I don't get it. But this is them basically deciding that it needs to happen. 300 kilometers. They have to send it 300 kilometers above the geostationary orbit, and so. And they have to have it happening before February 25th. Now, I think this is just some people out there figuring out the most amazing way to get rid of old equipment. I think this is just an amazing thing that they're just like, we don't need this satellite anymore. Let's blow it up. It's just awesome. This is a total PR stunt. That being said, according to what it actually says, it was a backup satellite. Nobody's service will be affected.
A PR stunt by AT&T.
DirecTV. It's been set up for years to happen in the future.
Yeah. See, I moved the other story up so we can go directly into it now.
Okay, go ahead, take over.
AT&T loses another 1.2 million subscribers as DirecTV keeps tanking. And I guess we could say, instead of keeps tanking, as their satellite reaches impending explosion.
Yeah, this is when they started in 2019, they had 24.5 million premium TV customers. They're down to 20.4, so they've been losing customers significantly over the past year. They've been having price hikes, and they've been having a lot of problems with their service. They've had their new changes that is happening to HBO and going to HBO Max. There's a lot of things that were shooken up here, and I am not surprised. Actually, I'm surprised it took so long.
So they finished the year down basically 4 million subscribers, and soon to be plus one satellite.
Minus one satellite.
Or that's what
one left.
They're
right?
going to be down 4 million users and a satellite.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were just. I mean, these guys were just bad from the get go. Back when before AT&T bought them, right? I mean,
Mhm.
they were still doing like 2-year contracts and all that kind of thing. When everybody else was going, doing away with that, and cord cutting, I'm sure, is played into this. Right? I
What?
mean, it's just they. I mean, I don't know what the answer is for like satellite television, but they need to come up with a new thing to get people to join,
Well,
right?
I
Because
think the first answer is make sure your satellites don't explode. But
Probably a good
I
idea.
don't remember when did AT&T buy DirecTV?
Oh, I
Because
don't.
I don't remember a time where it wasn't the same company.
yeah, it was like 2012
Really?
or something like
That
that, or
recent?
No,
maybe
no, it's not even that long ago. I'm certain.
I
Uh,
thought okay, I swear
May
they were
18th, 2014.
okay.
okay, 2014. Right.
Yeah. It's one of those things that the name is been ubiquitous for long enough that I don't remember a time where they were separate. But yeah, they bought DirecTV at the wrong time. That's
Well,
really what it comes down to.
so
Well,
no, the future of satellite is satellite internet. It seriously is.
Just not the satellites they're using for.
No, they're going to have to do new satellites,
Mhm.
and they're going to have to figure out a way of giving you satellite internet that is maybe a little bit better in the latency, although that's hard to
Well,
fix.
actually,
But
it's
definitely the
not.
through.
Um,
But definitely they need to fix the fact that you have very very low limits on your on.
Yeah, well, that's the difference is these satellites that are currently up there providing this service are geosynchronous. They're up there
Yeah.
for a really long time. That's why you've got several companies, including Amazon, that are working on it's the low Earth orbit satellites, the ones that are designed to basically burn up at a specific point.
Right.
Those are the ones that solve that latency issue. And
Mhm.
then the fact that they're also, you have so many in the sky that essentially creating a mesh network. So then in theory, it should alleviate most of the issues that are attributed to satellite internet.
Well,
We're
even if
we're
it
actually really close to testing, so
even if it's just a minor improvement in the speed or latency, that's not that big a deal. It's the, hey, you got 50 gigs this month. Oh, you downloaded an update from
yeah.
Microsoft Windows. Sorry, you don't get any more. That sucks for those
Well,
people,
and that's the
guys.
thing is the microsats in low Earth orbit
Right.
will essentially, if everything goes as planned, would essentially replace cell towers.
Hmm.
You're talking gigabit plus speeds.
Right.
mhm.
We'll see.
Because right now with a satellite for satellite internet, there's one, maybe two satellites that you can communicate with, and everybody's communicating with the same one,
Okay,
depending on where you're at. So,
but what would be the cost of such a service, though?
um, I- the
Go-
the plan is to be at or around or less than your current cell data, but
If they can sell it at scale, then it'll work. If it
mhm.
not, it's not gonna be successful. So it just
Right.
depends on if they can get. I mean, if they can convince a major phone manufacturer, maybe like an Apple, to put a satellite modem in their phone, they would sell like hotcakes.
Well,
It would
no,
be
like I
very
said,
successful.
you'll end up seeing this teaming up with the cell phone providers
Right.
to use them as an alternative to the traditional towers.
Right.
So you're talking about using the same technology as the towers, so you wouldn't necessarily have to do any kind of you just have to
Modification.
make sure they're on the same
Right.
channel.
Yeah. Cool.
You know,
Well,
it's
the only thing
like
is,
going from rabbit ears on your TV to one of the flat Mohu antennas on the wall.
Mhm. The only thing is they just need to have a good go-to-market strategy.
Well, and they are, and
But-
right now there's testing. They got a couple different companies. These CubeSats, they've gotten approval from the different government agencies to start launching them, and there are beta groups that are getting ready to start testing this. So.
And is this AT&T bringing it to market?
No, it's lots of different companies. Amazon is one of them. There's lots of different companies that are currently doing this.
Okay.
But and this also solves the issue for, or theoretically will solve the issue for like rural areas where you can't run cable and satellite's not even an option. So this is the ubiquitous worldwide network that they're talking about. Just flood the sky with CubeSats.
I just remember back in the 1990s, right? You know, because back then, you know, I worked on databases back then too, and you know, I used to be a database administrator for a system that was a billing system for wireless communication companies. And some of our clients were, you know, guys like Iridium, right? Which, yeah, nobody probably remembers them, but they were a satellite telephone company back then. Right. And they went bankrupt, right? You know, because they were shocked that nobody wanted to pay $3 a minute for cell phone service.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's why I say, you know, if they bring it to market, you know, at the right price and give good service, then yeah, they'll be successful in it, right? But that's the key, is being able to do that. And of course,
but that's the thing is
they need to be profitable as well.
Space is cheap now, relatively cheap now because of companies like SpaceX and whatnot. And Wabbit points out it is Elon Musk with SpaceX. They've already got a few hundred up there that they're currently using and testing.
SpaceX is doing a good job. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the one I didn't want to call them out by name because I couldn't remember if it was them or not. But yes, it is SpaceX right now that is one of those companies. And I know Amazon has also talked about it, but it sounds like it's working and as expected, and future iterations should be here soon. And yeah, I think that's the future of 5G.
All right. Well, in what was an accidental release of an internal test, some users on YouTube have been experiencing pop-ups saying, hey, being a premium member, you can subscribe to this channel for one channel for free, kind of like what Twitch does with its members. This was an internal test that was accidentally provided to some people's externally of their internal test. But this is something that may be coming soon. So if you are a YouTube streamer and you wish you had more people subscribing to your channel like you can do on Twitch, it looks like there will be, for those premium YouTube members like myself, we'll have one free sub for somebody out there. Word. Hey, Clyde, yeah, I will totally give our free $5 to us.
Okay.
It happens.
Or you can give it to my Poodle Puncher channel. More videos are incoming.
Oh, okay.
And I heard that xCloud is coming to Canada.
Oh, I think I skipped a story. Yes,
you didn't have to say that. I was covering
It's okay. Thank you. I appreciate it, but you don't have to. xCloud is, of course, Microsoft's upcoming gaming in the cloud system, which right now is limited to using their controller and Android phones, specific Android phones. But they've been slowly releasing it to more places, and Canada just got the nod. They have access. Anybody who's on their program can now have access to 50 of the games that are on the system right now for testing. That's the games like Gears 5 and Tekken 7, and so if you're in Canada and you wish you had a chance to try it out, give it a shot.
So I will take this moment to ask the one person in the chat I know is in Canada, Cruge. What do you think of this?
And Cruge, if you get the chance to try this out, I would love to know how good the latency is, because we heard how bad it was for Google Stadia. All the bad press came out about how horrible it was for Google Stadia. I'm curious if it's better, about the same, or worse for xCloud, only because, and I know that Google came out with a product versus versus what xCloud is coming out with, basically a beta test, a preview. So they're getting, I think, slightly better press about it if they are having issues. But I haven't heard a thing. I'd like to hear how good or bad it is, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll get to play in both English and French
Ooh.
at the same time.
That would be confusing. One in each ear?
Yeah.
Whew. No, I couldn't do it.
That'd be like visiting Quebec. As you're walking around, there's English and French at the same time.
Yep. Man, kids that grow up there must have really confusing vocabularies. Just say. Hey, Movie Pass. It's back on the news. And you know that it's Movie Pass. It's like it's never gonna die.
It's coming back, right? It's coming back. They're relaunching it.
It's every single time.
When can I get my new card?
Every time we talk about it, it's like, man, this thing, it's like a zombie. It's never gonna die.
I've been waiting for this day.
I'm sorry. It's officially declared bankruptcy.
Wait, Movie Pass is bankrupt, but they're gonna launch, like, Helios and Matheson is gonna launch something new.
No, unfortunately, they've looked into the various options, and there have been no signs of them making any new additional options after this. So it's I think it's officially finally dead.
So here's the kicker: they addressed this story wrong. Movie Pass did not declare bankruptcy.
Oh.
Helios and Matheson, who owned Movie Pass, have declared bankruptcy.
No, okay.
Which means everything else. Movie Pass is caused them to basically have to sell off everything else they owned.
Oh.
Because Helios and Matheson was a what do you call it? One of those companies that owned lots of other companies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I've been waiting for my Helios and Matheson stock to rebound since the weight of Movie Pass had. But nope, they declared bankruptcy, so
I'm sorry.
my 3,000 shares are going to be absolutely worthless.
Wow.
I mean, I bought them for what is 4 digits past the decimal point?
So tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s.
So I bought them for 30 thousandths of a dollar. 30 thousandths of a dollar per share. Bought 3,000 for, like, $15 or something like that. My portfolio is now down to $11.
Clyde and the Bod Squad are not
you should try,
offering financial advice.
See, as I've been saying for the last 6 months, all I needed was for them to rebound enough, just get back to $1 per share, and then I was golden.
Yes, you were.
But
you should try to get an actual stock certificate from them so you could frame it.
Yeah,
probably worth more. The frame's probably worth more.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, it would be.
But okay. So,
hey, remember when we talked about Roku's going to have this ability to set up your speakers in a surround system? It's officially going to happen. It's actually, apparently it's already starting going out. It's happening. You can now set up your Roku system with the soundbar, the various satellite speakers, and the subwoofer now inside your Roku system to provide a real surround sound system.
So if I remember right, the previous story we talked about was you could do this with Amazon using the Echoes.
That's right. That's correct.
And I said they need to do this with the Roku and like the Google Homes or something.
Right.
But yes, this is cool.
Yes, this is cool.
I kind of want this.
You can do it. I mean, it's the little satellite Roku.
What do I do with that new Yamaha Dolby Atmos receiver I just bought like 4 months ago?
You put it in a different room. Just saying, you don't do it in the same room. You do two different setups. That's what you do.
I'm just saying I don't know any place else in the house I could use that thing.
All right. Hey, so Forbes contributor John Costier, I hope I said that correctly, submitted an article today, I believe it was today, about how Apple basically needs to go ahead and kill Apple TV Plus. He makes the argument that the amount of money that they've thrown into it and the very few number of shows that they've gotten out of it is basically enough of an effort of theirs to realize the kind of crazy market the TV market is, comparing them to the various other contenders like the Disney Pluses and the Netflixes in the world, basically saying, hey, Apple, you make great products. You're not so great at services. You should give up now.
While I'm kind of understand where he's coming from, I mean, they are a business centric, money making organization, Forbes. They're going to look at it and say, hey, you put in originally we're going to put in 1 billion, you ended up putting in 6 billion, and you've gotten nothing in return on that investment at this point. But his argument is flawed because, and it pains me to do it, I'm going to defend Apple in the fact that of that 6 billion that they have invested, most of that is in projects that are currently in the pipeline. It's not a tinfoil. This is actual fact.
No, I don't believe what you're saying.
No, okay. But I mean, this is you've got stuff that's in the pipeline that they've already paid for. If they were gonna kill, then you're still gonna run with the stuff that you've already paid for. Just stop paying for new stuff. And if you did that, they've got at least another year or two of content coming.
Sure.
So whether or not that content's going to be any good, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, killing it now makes absolutely no sense.
That's true.
That's like saying, hey, I went down to the furniture store and paid them up front to design me all new furnishings for my house.
I got one piece of it.
The first two things came and I wasn't real happy, so just screw it.
Right.
You've already paid for it, just like burn down the house.
Yeah.
No.
That's right. That room is useless to you. You should just throw it away.
Yeah.
Don't need that room.
I mean, whether or not the service is ever going to be good, I don't know. But this idea of it's been 2 months, kill it. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just kind of being brash there with this article, is what it sounds like to me. I mean, there's a certain audience out there that, when somebody's going to be, bashing one of the big companies like Apple, it always attracts a lot of readers, right, to come in there.
Sure.
It sounds like to me that's what this guy's trying to do. I mean, the Apple TV Plus, I mean, they're just getting started. They're not even 3 months into it, right? And to call this out that early, I mean, it is very clear that all he's trying to do is just he's trying to put something out there to get that certain audience to read his article. Right?
And I do agree with one point, though, that if you look at it and Disney Plus that came out at the same time, Apple TV Plus is severely lacking by comparison.
Sure.
You can't really compare it to Netflix or Hulu or things that have been producing content for years that have built up. But you can compare those to Apple's because they came out at the exact same time, right around the same price point. And Disney Plus's content, yes, they only had like 4 or 5 new shows as well, but they Disney Plus has that back catalog if that's what you want. Apple doesn't have the back catalog. All they have is a couple shows that they made. So if you were to compare those two and you want to say which one is the winner, then yes, you could probably make a compelling argument that Disney Plus is currently the winner by comparison.
So what if Apple bought MGM Studios?
Well, they could.
There's actually a rumor of that.
They've got plenty of money,
and that's why I said currently. At launch, that's a metric that will change over time. You have to keep, checking back in. But I'm just talking at launch, what they launched with, what they were offering. The two, yes.
But I mean, yeah, this is really more of like, say, a platform play for Apple, more so than anything. It's much like what Amazon does with Amazon Prime, right? I mean, that's just an extra benefit you get for being a Prime subscriber, right? And that's kind of the approach what they're taking here with Apple TV Plus. Is kind of like, okay, here's something a little extra just for being an Apple customer. Right? I mean, they're giving you this free for a year.
Some people get it for free.
If you bought
most people don't get it for free.
Well, if you bought a device after September 10th, you do.
I'm never buying an Apple device.
Yes, but you're not the target audience.
But you're not an Apple customer.
But that's what I'm saying is they're not everybody's
they don't Amazon doesn't give Amazon Prime to people who are not Amazon customers.
No, exactly. But they don't Amazon but like I was saying is when you're Disney's they're not giving that out to anybody free, either. But my point was that if you're going to compare day one launch or first couple months, the only two things that you can really compare head to head would be Disney Plus and Apple Plus.
And I'm going to take that and I'm going to say that actually, if you do that comparison, it's still a little unfair. Because you do have that back catalog for Disney. Disney didn't have to do anything. But that being said, they did have to produce all that back in the day.
They have been producing it for years.
They have all this other stuff that they've been buying and they can now put on the service. But that's stuff that they've purchased. So, so it's a complete, they're really still two completely separate beasts there. So it's so hard to compare.
And what it's not one-to-one. Like I said, that's just the closest thing that you can compare. But yeah. Maintain relative fairness.
So this gentleman, John Coetsier. So if there's anything I learned about Apple's that never count them out. They have more money than anybody, so they can stay in the game the longest, and they will. They don't give up very easily. I think they've only given up, as far as I know, on one product I've ever remembered, which was the Google Hi-Fi.
Oh, what about the tragic MacPad?
The MacPad
or the Magic Trackpad, but it was tragic.
No, it was they kept it around for a year and then they replaced it. That's a mouse. But no, that was a new product that they brought out. It was the Google Hi-Fi, the Apple Hi-Fi, and it was it literally got pulled like a couple weeks later. It was so bad, but they tend to stick with what they're doing for a long time, and I bet you. John, who wrote this article, might be having to eat some crow later in his career. Which,
I mean,
you never know.
I don't know.
Maybe he's right. Maybe he's wrong.
I mean, and even I guess it's fair to say I'm the biggest Apple fan here, right? But even I will say that, I've got my year's subscription for free. Would I re-up next year? Well, I don't know, because it does depend on what the content's going to look
exactly
like comes in, right?
Yeah,
maybe I will, maybe I won't, but still, for him to say, oh well, hey, it's not even 3 months old and they should just close the doors and give the money back to the shareholders, right, is kind of ridiculous.
All right.
Agreed.
Hey guys, apparently, YouTube TV had a bug that I was not aware of.
Well, it's not a bug; it was a feature.
No, well, that's the thing. Apparently, it was actually a bug. Apparently, when you go into the guide, it would show you like the next 3 or 4 hours of what's going on, but you weren't able to scroll forward. I thought that was something they just never implemented, but apparently that's been a bug the whole time.
But
Either that or they actually implemented it and called it a bug. It's you can now go forward several like 7 days into the future
but
on
when
the
people
guide
were
and see what's going on.
complaining about it last year, YouTube said it wasn't an issue.
Maybe it wasn't an issue for them and it was working for them and they didn't realize,
That's why I said it's not a bug, it's a feature.
uh-huh. Yeah.
YouTube
All I gotta
said
say
it
is
wasn't a problem.
all I gotta say is that now that it's apparently been fixed or implemented or whatever.
In Chrome.
Yay! Oh, only in Chrome?
Only in Chrome so far. It's been implemented in Chrome. But that being said,
It'll go
since
to the
that
other
was
platforms.
done, then it should be rolling out to other platforms.
Right.
And,
Makes a lot of sense.
it makes sense that they would fix it in Chrome first because Chrome is also their product, as opposed to having to code an app for someone else's platform. May as well just do it on the thing that you already have. So yes, it's about time.
Yeah. And I think Bad Weave had it right. Yeah, I think everybody thought that's just how it worked.
That's what I thought. Hey, Sling TV is partnering up with Blockbuster, the company that doesn't really exist anymore. Anyways, they're offering up a free movie every Friday in a new thing that they're calling, what are they calling here? Flashback Fridays. They're going to be allowing you to watch a free movie on every Friday. And it looks like they listed the first ones that they got for the February. On the 7th, they've got the Maiden Heist from 2009. Don't recognize that one. Stuck in Love by 2012. Another one I really don't recognize. The Proposition from 2005. I think I might have. Yeah, I think I might have heard of that one, but I don't remember. And Bernie from 2011. Are these all bad movies? Are they doing movie night? Are they taking your thing, Clyde?
I don't know, but you know what's really amazing about this? Blockbuster is still a thing.
I know.
I thought that they were out of business.
I mean, I assume somebody else bought the name and is now licensing it, but I have no idea. I saw this and went, wait, what?
You want to talk about a company that was a major fail. That was a company that was a major fail.
Yeah. Well, I'm just checking right now. It looks like Hollywood Video is still a thing too. Oh man.
So yeah, wow. I mean, I guess if you're a Sling TV user, then congratulations. I guess
watch some bad movies.
I guess Blockbuster is owned by Dish, which also owns Sling
TV. That makes sense.
It says right there in the first line, Sling TV and Blockbuster owned by Dish.
Dish bought them.
So okay.
Hey guys, if you are an over-the-air watcher of TV, got some good news for you guys. ASTC version 3.0 is now available. It's still early in its implementation, but this is a new next generation over-the-air standard. It's going to provide up to, it looks like at least 4K and many other featers on your TV sets.
It'll provide 4K HDR video, Dolby Atmos, and also DTS-X support, on-demand video, and possibly even streaming to mobile devices and automobiles. And this is over-the-air television, with all of those features. The problem is, all the TVs shipping right now have ATSC1 tuners, and they will not support it. So we're going back to, remember when they went from analog to digital and they had to sell all those converter boxes? Mm-hmm. We're there again.
Oh, man.
So,
based on that, I don't think this is going to go anywhere. I mean, you're going to have your people who are like into it, but otherwise, no.
I
It's
mean,
not going to do.
the fact the ability the ability to do on demand over the air is the thing that made me that got my attention when I first heard about this like a year ago or two. I mean, yes, Dolby Atmos and DTSX, over the air. Sure, that is something that you kind of have grown to expect would be coming down the pipe, but on demand, over the air,
That'd be cool.
that is crazy.
That is pretty cool.
That is crazy, and it is the future. The future is here, guys. The future
We'll see.
is here.
With our satellite internet service, right?
Maybe
No, over the
Who
air
knows?
terrestrial.
Maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
We'll be getting it through through all different methods: cellular, terrestrial, and we'll be getting it over from satellites and from other stars.
And they said for mobile devices possibly too. So does that mean they're going to bring back the fold out antenna that was on cell phones, like even as, close as 7 years ago?
I don't know.
What?
I do not know.
Watch TV. You see cars driving around with a big old aerial on top. It also doubles as a spoiler. Word. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Very cool. Very,
right.
very cool.
All right. Well, I think that wraps that up. And this is the point where we like to say thank you to all of you out there that have been supporting our show one way or another over the last couple of years, especially the patrons. You guys are awesome. It's because of your support that we feel the need to continue doing this, because it would be so easy to just say, you know what? I've done enough. We've done it. It's enough. I don't really feel like doing it tonight. We'll just put it off for a week or two. Hiatus. But the thing is,
that's how these things die.
That's how these things die. But there are supporters that are counting on us.
Right.
And when there's someone counting on you, you have no option. Because letting down those people that are counting on you is the worst possible thing you could do. So
Absolutely.
I'm sure that we let you down in some way or another every week, but
not in this way.
But not completely. That is the one thing that allows me to rest at night, is the fact that we may fail you in one way or another, but we don't completely fail you by just not doing it. So Thank you. If you are supporting us, you are awesome. If you find value in what we do every week and you would like to become a supporter, that's patreon.com/thevod squad. All right. Well, also, this is the point where we would normally go to Big Voice Jay, but to quote him, the numbers are all wonky.
Well, to be contrarian, currently
he said the scores are wonky.
To be contrarian, currently the numbers are all correct.
They are now.
They are now. So I'll just go ahead and be a Big Voice Jay and say Mixtapes in last place with $361 million. Geek.io is in 6th place. Are we at 5th place? Was it a one? 5th place with $402 million. VOD Squad is in 4th place with $542 million. BS with BNS is in 3rd place with $549 million. Game Night in 2nd place with $558 million. And Movie Party is in 1st place with $571 million.
Very
I'm starting to
race
think they may not catch me.
They might not. I mean, it's Game Night has
2 weeks left.
And no, they all they got is Jumanji, essentially. No, they're not going to catch
BS
you.
with BNS.
No, BS. Oh, you're worried about them.
I'm
okay.
worried about them dethroning me in first place. And that's
So
what I said.
They got 20 million. They could. 20 million is not that much for 2 weeks.
There is a slim chance that I might be able to hang on for dear life, because I think I'm still pulling in a little bit still. So
from Frozen particular?
Frozen and I think there's going to be a resurgence in Bombshell, but no. Yeah, I don't know. This is the point where you just kind of cross your fingers and go,
Okay, so you're earning anywhere from 1 million in a day to 200,000 a day. Just Star Wars is anywhere from earning 2.5 million in a day to, it looks like, about $500,000 in a day. So it's going to be a climb for them.
yes,
But they're down under 1 million during weekdays. So it'll be interesting to see if they can make it in the 2 weeks. It's gonna be tight.
oh yeah.
It was a tight race the whole season here.
This has been a actually amazingly tight race, and I've been very happy with all of our options and our choices and how things came out. Lots of movies just did really poorly that really made things interesting. So
Yeah, so and looking, no, you guys are missing a lot of money in what I'm seeing. It says you're at 392 million. So yeah,
I'm looking. Okay.
But so you guys are gonna end in fourth place then?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Probably.
yeah, we're already in fourth, and Geek.io is not going to make 42.
No, but you're not going to be able
so.
to take back third from
no
Game Night.
BS with BNS is already past us, and Game Night we're not going to be able to. We have zero funds, so we're not going to be able to get up to that amount. Yeah, so nope, we're done. We're at fourth. That's going to be pretty final. But we're at fourth, only $30 million away from the lead. So I'm perfectly happy with that result.
Mm-hmm.
It's that tight, guys. It's great. If I had one more movie, I probably would have been able to tie with everybody at the top. That's all.
Yeah, if you just gotten anything other than Jexy. Anything.
Well, we did have cats.
Oh, wait, not cats. Yeah, you don't like cats. Or what was the one that made $1 million?
Playmobil. Owned by Geek.io. Sorry, guys. $1 million. It's so great. No, Jexy was my biggest disappointment because it looked like a funny rom-com. I figured it'd make 30-40 million easy.
I mean, it could have, should have, but it didn't.
I thought it was not a good movie, but like worthy of husbands and wives going out to see a funny rom-com. I don't know.
Brad Weave says he honestly can't believe it made $1 million. Are you surprised it made as much as one, or are you surprised it only made one?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so I guess why don't we get into some rants and some raves? All right. Who wants to take it away? Rants, raves, just gripes.
I'll start us off. So, being that I do subscribe to Disney Plus, right? This past weekend, for the very first time, I saw Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the first time I'd ever watched that movie.
Huh.
And I know when did that come out? Maybe 4 or 5 years ago or something
about
like
4
that.
years
Right?
ago.
Yeah, but
It's a great movie.
But yeah, great movie. Enjoyed it. I heard that the sequel was not so good.
Oh, I love the sequel.
Sequel is very good. I would call the first one a little better if you ask me, but they're both good.
They're slightly different movies.
Oh yeah.
The second one, takes a lot more liberty because it assumes that you now know the people.
Yeah.
So it has a bit more depth to it rather than the first one was, hey, this is a guy, here's another guy, this is why you should care about them.
Right.
Right.
The first one's more superficial.
Yeah.
And
I actually like that.
it was a great movie. I absolutely loved it. And then the second one had more depth. It tried to get you in the feels, and
Okay.
you know.
All right. Well, so then I'll watch part 2 as well.
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah. And
I'm
you got to
waiting
see
for
some.
part 3.
You watched. You finally got to see some dancing baby Groot.
Yes.
Excellent. Watch episode 2. There's more of that.
Okay. All right.
Volume 2 has more. Also, the soundtrack to number 1 is superior to soundtrack number 2.
Yeah.
Just saying, my opinion.
Yeah. One of the other ones I want to watch too is the Doctor Strange.
You have not seen that one yet either.
Yeah, I've not seen that one either. So,
All right.
so I'm going to watch that one as well.
Okay. If you want, you can watch it while taking LSD. I hear it's great. Especially since that's basically the idea behind the concept of the artwork for the original Doctor Strange books was what it's like to take LSD. Apparently, that is a direct influencer of the kind of art they did, and because of that, a direct influence to some of the effects they did inside that movie.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange was okay. I mean, actually, I liked it a lot. But if I think critically about it, I think it was pretty good. Because my own bias would be like, oh man, I love everything. So, you know.
Yeah. Well, same with me. I mean, all the Marvel stuff I like. Right?
Yeah.
So,
If that's the case, you're going to like this one too.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. Me, I didn't really do much this past week, entertainment-wise. But I did make sure I watched at least one show. My wife and I sat down and we watched the first episode of Picard. We've been really excited to see it ever since it first came out. I don't want to do any spoilers for the show in case you haven't seen it because there's lots of things that that it reveals as far as how the story's going to go and what's going on in the universe at that point. I really like the way they're going. Yeah, this looks like it could be interesting. They've done a good job of pulling me, covering any of my disbeliefs at this point. The suspension of disbelief is what makes science fiction and fantasy good, and they've done a good job so far. At the very end, they've continued to like tug on those strings to see how far they can take me, and I'm right now at the point of like, okay, but now you got to sell it, and that's okay. I'm all right with that. We'll see what they can do for as they go on. I'm really happy with it so far. If you are in any way a Next Generation fan, you'll like this. It is not what you're expecting, like a normal Star Trek movie show. In fact, I have a feeling it's going to start feeling much different after this first episode. Feel free, though. Patrick Stewart is an amazing actor. It's fun to watch.
Yeah. If you, I watched it as well, and I would say that if you're a Star Trek fan, then you're going to like it.
Yeah.
All right.
They said the same thing about that other Star Trek show,
The Orville?
Discovery.
Oh,
I've yet to see the Orville. I need to get back to that.
It's the best Star Trek show released in like 20 years.
I know, but Discovery is trying really hard. That's what they're doing. They're trying really hard, and to the point where it's like. So I've not made it.
Have you started watching the third season?
I think I'm just starting season 2. We took a break, so
okay,
we'll see.
Alrighty. Well, I started watching a show over the last week on Amazon. It's an Amazon original called Goliath, starring Billy Bob Thornton.
Mm-hmm.
I have been avoiding this show for several years. And I saw season 3 was out, and then I remember watching the first episode, and I couldn't get into it. So I figured it's been enough time. I'll go try it again. Well, I watched the first episode and realized this isn't the show that I watched. So apparently there was another show with Ron Perlman called The Hand of God that I hated the first episode. I've been thinking this whole time I've been thinking it was Goliath. So I've been not watching the show based on what I remembered from a different show. So I got into it and I dig it. I dig it a lot. It's got a kind of the same feel as Bosch, which is another Amazon original. And that's why I was going to say, Jimmy, I know you like Bosch, so I think that you will probably like, you probably like Goliath. So if Harry Bosch were a lawyer instead of a cop, I wouldn't be surprised if like they're produced by the same team or whatever, because they both take place in LA. They got kind of the same gritty feel, and but Goliath features a lot of people. I just finished the second season. I've just been having it playing in the background as I'm working on other stuff, and second season had a lot of people that I recognize from other stuff. And, Billy Bob's one of those guys that I could take him or leave him, but I like him in this role.
Okay. Yeah, there's some roles where he's like, yeah, okay. And then there's some roles like, okay, this makes a lot of sense. This is good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I keep expecting to see a Goliath Bosch crossover, but then I have to remind myself, wait, Bosch is based on a book series that this has nothing to do with, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah, you never know. It could still happen. You never know.
But it would make perfect sense if Bosch just showed up, or vice versa. I could see Titus Welliver and Billy Bob playing well off each other on screen. But check it out. It's well worth it.
How many seasons does it have?
3.
3? Okay.
3 so far. Yeah. And I'm still crossing my fingers hoping for another season of Bosch, but they totally could have ended it with the last season. It would have made sense either way.
They could have. Are they supposed to come out with another?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if they're gonna or not, but I'm kind of hoping they do. But if they don't, the last season was a good way to wrap it up. So
cool. Very cool.
But all right. Well, with that, we should probably go ahead and wrap this up. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Thank you guys for joining me.
Of course.
If you're watching this after the fact, we do this live every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central here on Twitch. Come join us live. That's when you get to participate in the chat. You get to submit titles which we will be voting on now in the after show. So everybody head on over to tvs.showbot.tv and let's vote on some titles. All right.
Indeed.
Let's go to the post show. See everybody.
Right.
Catch you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.